This is the second part of the video I uploaded the last time, and here I have this lovely Ankara turban with elastic. As you can see, it's all shades of beauty. Is a must-have for every lady, honestly. And in my last video, I showed you how I came up with these lovely earrings. So if you haven't watched that video, I would suggest you do so. And just a gentle reminder, if you are new to this channel, you are highly welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, I appreciate you. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. So let's get started. I already cut out my fabric into two. One part is the body of the turban and the other part is for the band. So for the main body of this turban, I'll be making use of 24 inches by 12 inches measurement, just as you can see. Then the band width is about 4 inches and the length is about 30 inches. But I would suggest you use like 28 or 29 because at the end of the day, I had excess. So those are the two major parts of this turban. So the first thing is to flip your fabric to the wrong side, then mark your round head circumference. My round head circumference is 23 inches. I added like 1 inch. So that's 24 inches. And after adding the 1 inch, I discovered that I had like half an inch left. So when I have made this curve, I'll be taking it out. You can either use your free hand to create the curve or you can use your curve ruler. Okay, so this is what I have after cutting and creating the shape. I'll be setting that aside. For the band, I'll be folding it equally into two on the wrong side, just as you see me do. And I'll go ahead to pin it like that. Don't forget, it is 4 inches wide. That means it's 2 inches on fold. So I'll just be stitching at quarter of an inch like that. And then when I was done, I just flipped it to the right side by using my scissors. You can use any sharp object of your choice. So I'll be flipping it to the right side like this, and I'll make sure the same is at the end. Okay, look at what I did here. I was trying to ensure that the same is at one end, not at the middle. Okay, so after getting it like this, I'll go ahead to give it a good press to flatten it. If you look at this band, you will see that it has design on both sides. So you can choose whether you want the other side to be at the front or you want the other side to be the other way. I hope you get what I'm saying. So now to put the elastic, this elastic band I'm using is 1 inch wide. So I cut out about 4 inches. Then for the band, I will just get the midpoint like that. Then from that midpoint, I'll be marking 4 inches to the right and 4 inches to the left, because it's more like double the length of the elastic. My elastic length is 4 inches, but what I'm marking now is 8 inches. The reason for that is for you to form gathers like this. Can you see it? At the end of the day, when you put your elastic, you should give it those gathers. I noticed that the ends of the elastic was fraying, so I had to use my lighter to burn the ends so that it doesn't fray. This aspect, I really want you to pay attention to it, how to fix the elastic so that you don't miss it. I'm just going to put my pin like that and I'll be passing the elastic through the channel. Yes, let me call it channel now. I'll keep going till I exceed the first marking. You understand? I'll just keep passing it through. I deliberately left this part of this video so you will see exactly what I did. I passed it through. Then when I saw that the end was already on that marking, you can see me using my hand to feel it. I stopped, then I grabbed my pin to pin it. Okay, so that's this the first line. Then I will keep going. I will keep going. The reason why I didn't stop there is because I needed to bring the pin out. I needed to bring out the safety pin. So I kept on, going till I finally got to the end. Then I brought out my pin because I really don't know another way you will bring out your pin if you don't do it this way. So after taking out my safety pin, I just released it bit by bit. I mean the elastic band. I released it bit by bit in a way that it's gonna stop on that other marking that I made. The first marking I made, I had already pinned down one part of the elastic. So this one now is just to release it so that it doesn't go in so much. You can see I released it to the stage where that marking is. So if you look at it carefully, I have one end of the elastic on one mark, I have the other end on the other mark. I then took it to the sewing machine to stitch down. So as you can see, I have stitched the both ends down just to put it in place to secure it. So you can see it's already having that little gathers. So the next thing I'll be doing is just to place the upper part of this turban or the body of this turban, and I'll be placing the midpoints of these two. Now I'll be placing the midpoints and the two right sides together to stitch down. So you can as well notch it or use your chalk to mark the midpoint. So I used my scissors to notch it, then I used chalk to mark the other one. Then I'll just place it together like that. You can as well use your pins to secure it, and I'll be stitching from that mid part to one end and from that same mid part to the other end of this turban. Because if you don't do it like that, you may not really get it. If you want to start from the beginning to the end, you may not really get it. So starting from the midpoint, stitching at quarter of an inch. While stitching, try not to stitch on the elastic, because after you must have fixed in the elastic through the elastic channel, you will still have some extra allowance. So that is where you will be stitching on. Okay, so when I was done stitching from the middle to one end, I also went again to the middle to stitch to the other end, and here is what you have. Everything is going on fine, right? It's easy. So this is the extra. That was why I said at the beginning of the video that you really don't need like 30 inches. 28 inches is just fine, because in order to avoid this wastage. Here is what you have now, and what I'll be doing next is to fold into two like this on the wrong side, and I'm going to stitch at half an inch following that curve all the way down. Okay, I'll stitch at half an inch all the way down, or maybe 1 inch depending on the allowance you must have added. Like I my round head circumference is 23. I added 1 inch allowance for sewing, so I probably stitched at 1 inch. Yeah, so if you added like half an inch, you should also stitch at half an inch. When I was done doing that, I grabbed my needle and thread. My thread was folded into four so that it would be thicker. Then I started doing running stitches along the seam. Hope you guys can see. I will do my running stitches neatly along that seam till I get to the end. And when I get to the end, I will just pull the thread a little to form gathers, after which I would tack it. I'll tack it, then knot the thread like say 2 or 3 times. So this is how this looks. Yeah, I'm in the stage of tacking it. You need to do it neatly and nicely. So after doing that, I flipped it over to the right side. If you notice, the other side was looking longer. In order to avoid it, you can just pleat it a bit, maybe take 2 or 3 pleats. As you can see, I took like 2 pleats. I'll go ahead to stitch it down so that the front part of the turban will align with the back part of the turban. So I first of all held it with pin, after which I'll take it to the sewing machine to stitch down. After stitching down, this is how it looks. It now looks like equal, and this is partially done, right? It's partially done. The next thing is to get another piece of fabric, which is about 35 inches long and 5 inches wide. And this part of this turban is totally dependent on you, whether you want a big rose or small rose. If you want something very big, you can increase the width to like 8 or 10 inches. Yeah, some people like some big designs, but for me, I just love it moderate. So I just got a cutout of about 35 inches by 5 inches, which I folded into two on the right side, as you can see. Then I grabbed my needle and thread and I started doing running stitches. But something happened while I was filming this part. I didn't know that I had paused my camera. So I lost a clip of how I arrived at the rose. But don't worry, I just got a small piece of fabric just to show you how I arrived at this. And if you are not still clear, then watch the video before this, because I use the same pattern to make the earrings. Hope you guys get. So in case you didn't know how I arrived at this rose, this was exactly what I did to arrive at this. I just did my running stitches. I pulled the thread. After pulling the thread, I started using my hand to form that shape, like to create the shape of rose, making it look good, aligning it. Then when I was done doing that, I just used my needle and thread to tack it so that it will be in position. Yeah. So can you see it, guys? So if you are wondering how I came up with the rose, this was exactly what I did. Very simple and straightforward. In fact, I have some tutorials on this on my channel. You can just type out Ankara flower. It's going to bring out something like this, just to be clear. So after doing that, I just, got the rose. Then I started attaching it to the turban. If you also want to know more about this turban, I also have detailed videos on turbans on this channel. You can check them out. So I just tacked the rose flower, like you can see. I made sure that there was no space left. I made sure that it was looking very flat on the turban. And that's it, guys. Honestly, this is done. In a way, it is done. You can decide to leave it like this, but trust your girl now. I decided to go extra by embellishing the flower part of this turban. You know, normal could be boring. If I just do a normal turban, it won't be different from another person's turban. I just wanted to make it, lit. Okay. So I just embellished it a little with some of my embellishments. You don't really need so much, just to make it pop, which I did. And this is now the final look. It is giving. It is really, really giving. So like I said before, my last video was on how I made the earrings. You can check it out, but this is the final part of this video. This turban is beautiful. The elastic part of this turban really makes it very comfy. I hope you too can try this and share your experience with me in the comment section. If you have watched this video to this point, honestly, you are the real MVP. And if you are still contemplating on subscribing or not, why not consider subscribing? And don't forget to like, comment, and share my videos. See you all in my next one. Bye.